Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Dead Rising Infinity Mode, the PS4 edition. Solidus Links back once again with another video, along with his good friend Brett.
Hey, what's going on now?
So, both of us have made progress on our playthroughs since the last video. Me, in terms of just standing around doing nothing until I ate my one steak. Now I'm going to go around searching for survivors.
What do you mean? You didn't die? That's like a big challenge.
That's true. That is true. And now I actually have the challenge of trying to organize my survivor list while not being avoided by or not getting eaten by zombies. So, at this point, it's really just about going around finding, what stores have food, what stores don't have food, and more importantly, finding out where psychopaths and survivors are and killing them and getting their food. I highly recommend that you have a strategy guide in front of you, preferably on a laptop, or phone is good too, but make sure you have some sort of guide right in front of you, some sort of reference that tells you who is where at what hour of the day, because one of the disadvantages of Infinity Mode is that you do not have access to your watch on Infinity Mode. The only way you're going to be able to know the time of day during Infinity Mode is if you're transitioning from one zone to the next, and you saw, like you did a few seconds ago, 8 hours and I think 50 some minutes passed by or something like that. Or if you look at a clock, any of the clocks that you see in game. I'm not sure if there's any quick examples on hand. Maybe there's one right here. But there's all sorts of clocks scattered throughout the game itself that will also have time passing by in real time for in-game hours. There's a bunch of clocks scattered. There's all sorts of guides you can find on the internet that will help you find where clocks are. But yeah, those are the only way you'll be able to tell time. So you want to be able to pay attention to what time it is so you can tell what survivor is where. So now that I talked about that enough, I'm just going to go... Actually, I think there's a clock right here. No, never mind. That's the rabbit statue. That's nothing related to clocks. So... Oh, a good note about the food court, too. So, food court is a great area for finding food items, but you want to stay away from this area at all costs on the fourth day. Never ever go there on the fourth day, because for whatever reason...
It's the day of fast.
Well... doesn't relate to real life in that way. Actually, it relates to it in a different way. If you go there on the fourth day... See, this is a direct port of the original 360 version, so assume all glitches are still in, as they were originally unintended, let's say. You want to stay away from this food court on the fourth day on Infinity Mode, because for whatever reason, if you enter here or leave the food court if you're already in there on the fourth day, the game will crash instantly.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to have happen.
Working as intended.
Especially if you're on the Xbox 360 and you're 7 to 8 hours in your playthrough. That's exactly what you want to have happen. So, stay away from this area at all costs on the fourth day. Either, if you're still in there, don't leave. Do not leave until the fifth day starts. Of course, the only way you're going to know that is if you look at a clock. Just for fun, let's go in the food court and see if there's a clock in here. So it's 9 hours and 26 minutes. So now that I know that, I can go looking for survivors and psychopaths based on that. I'm pretty sure there's a food court. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's a food court in the food court. That's exactly what I was going to say. No, I'm pretty sure I was going to say there's a clock somewhere in the food court. I just don't remember where it is, but whatever. I know it's 9 hours and 30 minutes, roughly. One more thing I will do before I go looking for survivors is I'm going to get myself a firearm. It's a hidden submachine gun up here in this alcove. Knee drop to get down. Excellent way to avoid fall damage. I'm going to take...
Fall harder, you take less damage.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. That's physics. It's just how it works in 2006. So... Sad thing, you will not find food items in cardboard boxes, unfortunately, so make sure you keep that in mind. I don't know why I keep opening the boxes. There's nothing but water guns in them. I'm going to take this yogurt with me, just so I have something as a backup. The Hall family, I just remembered, will be outside, but remember, I'm trying to stay away from outdoors. I just remembered Al Fresca is technically an outdoor area, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I don't know immediately off the top of my head, but just for safety, I'm going to stay away from Al Fresca because I am trying to get indoorsman. So we have no choice but to go back the way we came through Wonderland Plaza. I think I have the maintenance tunnel key, so I could technically go down the maintenance tunnel, but I don't really want to do that this early. It's just kind of too risky to do at this point. Whoa, looks like you dealt with Mirak.
Killed his face.
You got him. You killed his face.
I can't loot him. He's busy. The skeleton is busy.
Alright, so I'm just pausing to look at what survivors there are. There's Bill at Crislip's, so it's between 7 hours and 19 hours. So we can go to Whoop! Nope. That's not exactly what I want right at this moment in time. Especially from a zombie. Anyways, we're going to go to Crislip's and find Bill, according to the strategy guide. He is there between 7 hours and 19 hours. And he will have one food item. We're going to go reveal that when we get there, because I don't want to spoil it. I want to surprise some of you. I don't want to tell you guys all the answers. Gotta have some measure of entertainment in this playthrough. I noticed in my previous Infinity Mode playthrough, when I last played this game, since it was my very first Let's Play, I wasn't very inflective, let's say. I didn't really have a whole lot of interesting things to say. I said a lot. I would always end a sentence and then say and then follow it up with another sentence and then say I was watching my old videos recently, and they're kind of fun and endearing to watch in the sense that, I can't believe I said that, all the way back then. But they're fun and corny to watch now, but it's so irritating for me to hear the word said so many times. And I just realized that's the name of your Skyrim character. Made an orc character named
Just seemed appropriate.
What drove you to name him that character, or give your character that name?
I have forever hated naming characters.
Did ya?
Always. So it's just give them dumb names and you feel less silly. But
I'm eager to hear other examples that you have, because this sounds like it's happened more than once.
Most times just
Just the first letter that comes up on the keyboard.
Maybe even just like spam like A and B moving around a couple times. So your ASFGs,
Yeah. I remember there was an episode of Angry Video Game Nerd back in the day, and he talked about in the Winter Games episode, I believe it was, for NES, and how problematic the name entry screen was. And he said, what's the point? Like, there's no point in naming the characters because it's just going to be the same games anyway. But if it did matter, I guarantee all the scores would belong to because he typed in nothing but A's.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was the first character available, so it was too much effort to go scrolling across the screen. So, it was. Oh, okay, so here's Bill. He's got a nail gun. He's being a bit of a douchebag right now.
He's messing it.
So I'm going to slice him up with a katana.
That katana does quick work.
So really, I'm not really too concerned about my health right now because I'm not going for any world records or anything. Obviously, it'd be a different story if I was, but I'm not, so I'm not too concerned. I do, however, want to pay attention to when our chainsaw clown friend Adam pops up, because he will have weapons, very important weapons. And once we get those weapons, we will not be picking up any other weapon in the game for the rest of the playthrough, because the small chainsaws are all you need. But in the meantime, I guess we can have fun chopping up some zombies. Not really the smartest thing to do in Infinity Mode. It's because you always risk getting bit, getting clawed, getting all manner of chopped up, chomped on, those sorts of wonderful adjectives. And that risks losing a lot of health, which can be important for your run. But really, this game gives you way more health items than you need, in my honest opinion, to get 7 days done. It's really not that hard. It's extremely difficult on Xbox 360 only because you have to have literally nothing else to do in your day to do it. You have to have the full 14 hours or so dedicated from your whole day. I literally did that playthrough on Xbox 360 when I had a day off from university classes, because that was the only day I could get it done. Other than the weekend, I didn't really feel compelled to sit on my ass playing video games all day on a Saturday or on a Sunday. I always felt like doing something else to do. So when I had a break off from classes, that was when I did it. That was a different time back then. Now things are much more convenient on PS4, which is why I'm attempting it again for nostalgia purposes. I just realized Bill dropped a machete. Very handy weapon.
Thanks, Bill.
Thanks, Bill.
Nice guy.
That'll be the title of this episode. Thanks, Bill.
I like it.
For some reason, I kept thinking of Bill from Left 4 Dead. Have you ever played Left 4 Dead? Do you remember Left 4 Dead?
Left 4 Dead, yes.
Yeah.
I've played the second one more than the first, admittedly.
Yeah, the second one is highly regarded as being far superior. And I agree, too.
I always thought both had very good social standing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's just Left 4 Dead 2 improved on it in every single way. Had more character, or not more characters. It had more weapons, had more zombies, different types of zombies. And it was just a blast to play in high school. I had a lot of fun playing Left 4 Dead 2. Actually, I think that came out in my first year of university, Left 4 Dead 2. Yeah, that's right. The first Left 4 Dead came out when I was still in high school, and that was when we were introduced to it. I had a lot of fun playing that game. A lot of fond memories. I don't play multiplayer games as much anymore, primarily because I don't have a PlayStation Plus membership, and you can't play online without that. But even then, I just don't really find that there's much multiplayer games to enjoy. Like, Call of Duty seems to be the same every year. There's a lot of games that are doing the live service thing. Destiny didn't really appeal to me that much. I've always just enjoyed single player experiences because they always seem to be different in their own unique way. Games like this game especially is one of my favorite games of all time. BioShock, Persona 5. Persona 5, yeah, as a matter of fact, is actually my PlayStation home music. I love it.
I love that song.
I love it.
As someone who doesn't know the game at all, it's a great tune.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole soundtrack is just absolutely fantastic. It's got like tracks that get you pumped up. It gets tracks that are good for mellowing you out, helping you relax. It's just one of the best video game experiences I've had, really. I can't recommend that game enough. My first playthrough of that game was 107 hours of gameplay, from beginning to end, and that's with the true ending factored in. There is a lot of things to do in that game. Very crazy, high amount of things to do. So I'm just taking a look at my capture card here. 13 minutes in, that's fine. I'll keep recording for a bit longer. Yeah, so basically I'm just going to be finding things to talk about because there's really not much else to Infinity Mode. You're just going around finding food, and then when you have enough food, you just sit in one place doing nothing. One thing I will say, obviously you want to have high ground or closed doors. I already mentioned that. But whenever you have a spot to stay at, I recommend that you have your controller plugged in with your charging cable. Because on my Xbox 360 version, what ended up happening to me a couple times was when I didn't have my play and charge kit equipped, my game would automatically pause because my controller had a setting where after being idle for so long, it would just turn off. And whenever you're on the pause screen like this, it does not count towards your time for Infinity Mode. You have to make sure the pause menu is off and that your health is depleting. So you're going to be standing still doing nothing a whole lot in this game, especially whenever you have a lot of food items, because if you have a lot of food items on the floor in front of you as well as your inventory, you want to make sure that you have a spot to use it. So unfortunately, Infinity Mode in this regard can be very, very boring. But, you know, like I said, earlier in the day, back in the day, this was when achievements meant something. Now, on PS4, it's a lot more convenient to get it, because you can suspend and then return to the game as you please. But you still have to keep that in mind because you're not going to be able to play any other games you want because you have to keep this active. So, unfortunately, you have to stand around doing nothing a whole lot and wait for that health to go down. And eventually, when that health goes down enough, you eat a food item, and then it goes back up to full, ideally, and then you rinse and repeat. So it can be very repetitive, very boring. That's why I very much recommend you have something else to do in the background, like read a book, listen to a podcast, or in my case, have someone else here to watch another video game being played, like he's playing Skyrim right now, Brett is. So it just helps to have other things to do in the background while you're doing Infinity mode, because this thing is a gauntlet, man, I'll tell you. On Xbox 360 mode, Xbox 360 mode, I'm getting the two terms mixed up. On Xbox 360, Infinity mode couldn't get more hardcore because you literally had to have your whole day blocked off for that 120 gamer score achievement. And
that's 20G, man.
Yeah, 20G. And all the achievements in that game actually were 20Gs as well. All of them. There were 50 achievements. So it equated to 1,000 gamer score because there were 50 achievements. But still, like, some of those achievements did not deserve to be 20. Like, especially 7 days. Like, it felt like it should have been at least 100. And then whenever you see that 20 Gs come up, it's like, that was not worth it. But, you know, it's all for the fun. I think it's fun. I never, ever hate playing this game. Like, even on Infinity... Actually, Infinity mode is one of the main reasons why I keep playing it.
It's what draws you back.
Because, like, there's no time limits other than, like, the depleting health, obviously. But you have no missions to worry about. You can go around hacking and slashing zombies as you please. And kill people. You don't have to worry about saving people. It's just an absolute blast. I love this game. And it's still so much fun to play 12, 13 years after the fact. But anyways, that's going to be the end for this video. I'm going to find some food items and then going to wait a bit. And then we'll return to see where I'm at. So in the meantime, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next part.